And the first course you're going to have is a porchetta. So porchetta is known as, in Provence, you can have it with suckling pig, but we do it with other things. I mean, you have that also in Italy as well. They stuff it with herbs and other vegetables and greens. And in Provence also, we stuff it often with a lot of different vegetables. And here I wanted to do, because our tasting menu often, if I were to give you a slice of porchetta to start the meal, it will be very large and it will be a little too much. So this we are doing a porchetta of rabbit. And rabbit is quite, I grew up on a farm in France and I grew up on rabbit. And if you are from the Mediterranean, if you are European, I know that rabbit is maybe not as popular in America than it is in Europe, but it's a wonderful lean meat who, like chicken, like guinea hen, are very delicate and part of the white meat sort of family. By the way, I'm sorry, this is Mary. We work together in New York. Mary's take care of all the communication with all the chef and me and the recipes and so if you have any question about the recipe, it's Mary. And if you have any question about the reservation of the restaurant, it's me. And so the porchetta of rabbit, it's a cold dish. I serve it as cold. It could be cold or hot. And we serve it as cold as a starter, as a salad. And basically, in a rabbit, you start with the saddle. So you can buy a whole rabbit, or you can get just the saddle and the legs. And you can use we use the force meat of the legs. We use the kidney and the liver inside to make the force meat. So I made a little force meat here. And of course, don't try to follow the recipe because you can, but you might get lost. But at least you can see the ingredients. And we do the force meat with a little bit of pork meat as well. There's a little bit of the leg meat and the kidneys, the liver, some seasoning. So that is the preparation. Then the saddle, we boneless the saddle, and so this is half a saddle. The saddle being with the flap of the belly also with it, so that right, the belly got a little spread and cut through it. So we cut the sinus into the belly skin, so you get this nice sort of surface to be able to put some stuffing in it, and then. Inside will go. I mean, there's a lot of vegetable, but we use a little bit inside and more served after. So you can put all kind of vegetable as you wish. We have some confit tomatoes. We have some asparagus. I have a little bit of green beans. I have some yellow carrots here. Some foie gras, or seared foie gras, and some fava beans. And so all those vegetables going to play inside as well and bring flavor and give flavor. And the chorizo, which is not really indigenous of Provence, but I wanted something to give also a little bit of spiciness, smokiness, without being too strong. So I put the force meat next to the saddle, like that. And this gets spread down, so along the loin and over the skin. So if you don't have, or if you don't want to find a rabbit, they're not the kind of rabbit you find in Texas either, where like the jackrabbit. This is really the best suppliers, I think, for that, unless you have a local supplier, is D'Artagnan. Yes, sir.
Would it be possible for the camera to
To zoom down a little bit more.
Yeah, the camera.
Who is handling the camera? Yeah, I don't see you. What do you want me to be?
You gotta work near the carrots.
Like this?
Work near the carrots.
There you go.
Like this is a good place to work? Wow, okay. And let's move.
What do you want me to do?
Thank you.
Voila. Superb. So here I have the loin, which is going to be also lightly seasoned with salt and pepper. And place those vegetables like that. So a little lines of tomato and chorizo. So you can put green beans, you can put any vegetable you feel it's the foie gras, the carrots. A little bit of pieces of fava beans as well, or peas. So this is not gonna, it will cook quite fast because of the size of it. And so these get compressed well, and then we will, roll these carefully like that, and create a sausage like this. Ballotine, actually. And this will get rolled into an aluminium foil, a square piece of aluminium foil. And do you have a little bit of?
The oil's right there.
Ah, yes.
There's a brush too.
Okay, just a little bit of oil, like that. A little bit of salt and pepper on this side. And so if you were to use chicken, or if you were to use pork meat or veal, a lean pork meat, and do the same thing, make the force meat, maybe add a little bit of liver inside, you will use the same method in a way, like that. And then, of course, you put it in like this, and you roll it. So that was fairly easy. And that gets seared in a pan. Mary, you want to do it? That gets seared in a pan and produce this. And the ballotine is seared and chilled, and then voilà. So you see, you have all the white meat of the rabbit, the loin, and the belly has got everything inside. So the odor is always there and uneven, but at least all the flavors are together. And there's a little bit of force meat, a little bit of foie gras, tomato, fava beans, asparagus, like that. So that is the result after. And usually, so we sear it very gently for like maybe 3 minutes on each side of the papillote that we have made. So in the pan where, yeah, it's there, it's small one. We don't have, it will take too long to cook anyway. But as you cook it, you turn the papillote gently to just sear lightly each sort of line of it. And then once you do that, you finish in the oven at about 300, how much?
210 actually.
210, pardon, yeah, slowly. So we finish, so the searing is not also like high searing and smoke, and you don't need oil in the pan because you just need a hot surface to put it on and start to firm up the meat on the outside. And then after you cook it at 210 for maybe 20 minutes, because by then it's already half cooked when you sear it, almost. And so 20 to 25 minutes, you can certainly poke it and sound it and go up to about 68, I would say 67, 68 degrees to 70. So it's well cooked, and yet it finished to cook also with the heat of the papillote inside. So with the with the preparation are in the plate. Served also. There is some sugar snap pea. There is some peas. There is some snow pea, some scallion a little bit, and also some fava. And then we have also some pickled, so little pickled peppers. We have what do we have? Jalapeno and
Red and green jalapeno.
yeah, red and green jalapeno, which has been lightly pickled and lightly sweet. We have a little bit of oak leaf and little garden flowers. How do you call those? You know, the
Phlox.
phlox.
Mm-hmm.
Phlox. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Those are from Tana, too.
Yes, a little forager. And then a little bit of arugula and a little bit of sorrel as well. So those are the elements on the side of the preparation. And for that, I prepare also a little crème fraîche. So we have a little bit of crème fraîche here, and I add up the whole grain mustard to it. So crème fraîche and mustard become sort of the only sort of, not fat, but richness a little bit in the preparation. And that will be served for the, on the top of the ballotine. So here we're going to cut a nice slice. On the plate, then I put a touch of chorizo oil to it. Because the chorizo I cut to put inside, of course there's always a little bit of chorizo left, and it's good to keep it for breakfast the next day. But you can render a little bit of the chorizo and put a little bit of chorizo oil on top like that. So it really brings back a little bit the flavor of the chorizo and nourish a little bit the slice of rabbit. Then I have some Orléans mustard. Well, Orléans mustard is a kind of a sweet and well-balanced mustard. You can find it on specialty store, and now with Amazon, I'm sure you can find anything. But Orléans mustard, it's from the city of Orléans in France, and it's the French are very. There's a lot of different little regions who are making wonderful mustard, and they each have a little character to that. And so the Orléans mustard, I added also some tarragon to it. So, or you can use tarragon mustard directly for that. And so that we are putting a little bit of that mustard here. So just to nourish the vegetable we're going to put on it, without putting too much. And then, Mary, how do you have the cooked vegetable there? Mona? Also the mustard help hold the vegetable in the plate. You see there? All right. Great cooking. So I want also to have enough sort of generous serving of garnish, as it really it becomes just not such a meaty appetizer also. So of course you can simplify. You could also boneless the entire rabbit and make some force meat with some of the front parts of it, and then wrap it up in a bigger sort of boudin. And if your family is a little bigger than and they want to have a full serving of it. So here we have a little bit of fava, we have a little bit of peas, the snap, the sugar, and then the oak leaf. So any kind of little lettuce will do, but you can also, with that, I mean, of course, that's the way we present it, but just make a big, nice bowl of salad with a nice mustard vinaigrette, and you can add up all the vegetable you have left over from all the preparation into the salad and serve, that ballotine of, you did rabbit, you can do it with veal, you can do it with chicken, turkey, you just make sure that you pound things and you make a nice force meat with enough fat in it from the pork meat you put in. You can modify as much as you want to just play and in the theme of that preparation like that. So of course the bigger the ballotine, the more time you will need to cook it for sure. So I don't know if you have noticed, but I'm not really generation tweezer, so it's okay, just kidding. But often chef will take the tweezer through. And Mary, you didn't bring me any tweezer today. Yes.
Of course she did.
No, it's funny because I think as a young chef, of course, I didn't grow up with so many different interesting tools who definitely give us a very will give us a lot of ease at working and precision. So, Mary, talk to me about the flavor, the flour. We have this lady in New York, Tama.
She has a lot of land outside the city, and a lot of times she just kind of brings us whatever she finds. And she finds all these like fascinating greens, and it's mostly greens that she does, but a lot of edible flowers or seeds or what most of us would call weeds that are edible and have really, really interesting flavor. And so it's always fun to kind of like see what she brings, and we sort of figure out a way to incorporate it, and what does this work with? What can we do with this?
Give it a small spoon. It's open. Yeah, and Tama, actually, Chef Eddie, you're meeting today. I don't know where he is right now. I think he's either at the gym. No, he's working. Okay. And Chef Eddie is the chef de cuisine at Daniel. And my last visit in 2010, Chef Jean-François, who is the executive chef, he takes care of all the private dining, the catering, and the restaurant as well, and Eddie focused on the restaurant. And so Chef Eddie and Tama wrote a wonderful book, which I'm sure you can find online.
Foraged flavors.
Foraged flavor, it's called. And it's all about the things we find around New York City in the woods there. So here we are putting the little crème fraîche. Voilà. And a little bit of that. Voilà. So of course, if you don't like rabbit, we'll make something else. But I think you should try. Yeah, I'm bringing it. By the way, did you see those amazing Le Creuset? Everything on the table is Le Creuset, so in case you were wondering, don't wonder too much. Voila, there. Thank you. And actually, I just learned today, and because I've never seen it, but this is the stainless steel Le Creuset with the same bridge and who is there. Yeah. And so this is a passage where all the parts are they're very cool actually. And light, which sometimes they have a tendency to make it too heavy and sometimes cumbersome. So this now the next course. So
So I guess you still need to work right here if you can.
yes, Cassidy, welcome. She's the force behind this very special program here. Come, we talk about the menu. Everybody was salivating over the idea of the menu tonight, and so we are doing 3 courses, and you are doing also 3 courses. So would you so we start with the rabbit, the first course. Then the second course will be?
We got a bunch of really great peaches and cream corn, and so we're gonna do creamed corn with roasted corn, chanterelles, and long story short, my mom has a big batch of bee balm in her backyard, and she hadn't had bee balm. It's an incredible herb. It's like mint and oregano and thyme for baby, and it's just such a great flavor. So we pickled some cucumbers, some bee balm, a little bit of raw cucumber, and then Mike has been growing this oregano in the garden. And normally oregano kind of scares me because it's almost like cilantro. For some people it has a soapy flavor, but this oregano is like no oregano I've ever had before. So we'll just garnish it with a little bit of oregano. It's super simple.
And then it'll be followed by the halibut, which I'm going to present to you right now. And the halibut will be surrounded by carrots in many ways. And then following that.
And then after that, we still have a bunch of peppers in the garden. So we have a spiced pepper puree. It has coriander and cumin in it, so it has a lot of really bright flavors. When I lived in Germany, I worked at an Indian restaurant for a while. I know that sounds weird. I lived in a Turkish neighborhood, so it really did get weird. But with just some grilled okra and then fried crispy okra and peanuts and fennel.
And then to finish, we have a grilled squab with also some wonderful radish in many preparations, and sherry as well, where we had our last sherry in New York a little while ago, but we preserved them, we stewed them a little bit, and we also pickled some. And so there is a preparation with the squab and cherries and turnips. And the grill, they have a wonderful grill, plenty of wood here. So it's good. And then we finish with
We are going to finish with a wild ginger ice cream with some plum. Nice. That's Lawrence, if you see him there. His creation, and it's really one of my favorite things about today. That's it.
Voilà, so now we're jumping into the alligator. Thank you so much, Cassie. And so carrots in many ways. So I usually use a few different carrots, from very small ones to more California style, larger ones, and those have been already trimmed and all that. But the idea is to use the carrots in many ways and everything of it. So there's zero waste with the carrots. We even use a little bit of the very young top as well to put on top. So I have a carrot juice, reduced carrot juice with orange juice, which the two of them are cooked together and reduced into a more concentrated preparation. We have Japanese mandolin, which I don't recommend to use it unless you are careful to not cut your hand with. But we use this mandolin, but you could do the same preparation. Using a food processor with a very thin kind of blade and put your carrots in it and get a little slice of carrot rather than what I'm going to do. But the way I do it has a little bit of purpose. So the carrots get sliced thin, And usually when you slice carrot, then you can take a towel, well wrapped like this, and you put it over so you don't cut yourself also. And you try to put the mandolin on a stable place, but I'm kind of doing it not the way you should. That's okay. I'm fine with that. Voila. So you see quite a lot of slice of carrots. I have some more made here. So they are full-length slice of carrots. You don't have to trim. You can also trim the end. What I do is usually I have that already done, but I cut some little nuggets of carrots, pieces of carrots first, which is going to be part of the garnish here. I have some little pieces of carrots cut, and then I have the little millefeuille I am making, and the onion. So, and then make the juice with some of the carrots, and make the puree. You can also follow the recipe, it'll work perfect. So with that, the carrots get seasoned with salt and pepper. It's a bit with fine salt. Voila, it's working. Pepper and also pink peppercorns, I think.
Oh.
And so the juice inside as well with the salt and pepper. And we have a pink peppercorn oil, a little bit to season as well this preparation. And this get mixed well and macerated. You can macerated, but then after you just layer that into a dish. Like this. So having the carrots cut like this, the advantage is then first they're gonna all be well seasoned in between. They're all gonna get the nice taste of the reduced carrot juice and the orange juice as well. And it also will sort of firm up itself as it cooks and get more compressed, almost like a millefeuille. So I do it inside this. At the restaurant, we do it in a, but this little Le Creuset gratin dish is wonderful. And those are the perfect dish to do that. But we do it in usually a square pan and then cut them in little square cubes like that. So if you want to put something in between, you're welcome to be creative with the idea of that. It could become also a nice vegetarian dish as well. And you could serve that with a wonderful salad of orange and some raw carrots with it and like a little carrot slow. So I could put the juice back in, and then a little, we put an aluminum foil over, like that, and you bake very slowly until the carrots are super tender, and you get a carrot millefeuille like this. So it's quite dense, and it's a great sort of concentration of carrots to it. Are you gonna do a new segment? So from that, the halibut. So the halibut, here I have a piece of, this was about a 15-pound halibut, 20 pounds maybe, quite thick. So this is part of the middle of the fillet. There is a nice thick fillet. So this we usually, we do a quick brine, which is basically almost like the density of seawater. And we just let it sort of firm up lightly for maybe 20 minutes, half an hour, and then remove it. So it's not really salting it, but it's just firm up a little bit the meat. And so the halibut get baked very gently. It's fairly simple actually. I like when halibut cook very slowly and is bathed in butter. So if you don't want to use like we do in the restaurant where we have a circulator with water and then we have a double bath inside like a container, and inside we keep the water at 57, 58, and then we put the bath with the beurre blanc inside. We do a beurre blanc, which is a melted butter with a little bit of shallots and seasoning, and we have a little bit of the carrot seeds for that one, wild carrot seeds, and then we poach the halibut very slowly into that. But if you don't want to use 2 pounds of butter for 4 portions of halibut, because it's not gonna, I mean, you can always keep the butter and use it for other things, but that's kind of a lot of butter to consume for you. So we make a little beurre blanc like this, and of course we put some in a dish.
And you have the wild carrot seeds there too.
Yes, absolutely.
The Queen Anne's lace, it's also called Queen Anne's lace.
Yes, we are giving the, it's sort of completing the carrots mania with the dish. We are doing a real 360 degrees with the carrots. Touch of salt. So you definitely give the voila, and you slow bake in the oven with a little parchment paper over, and you slow bake that for about what was our time? No.
It was about 8 to 10, very, very low. 250.
Yeah, 250. Anyway, try to have a temperature who you really, when you pull it, you don't keep cooking. It's better to take low and slow than try to rush it, and the fish don't keep all this moisture inside. So we cook it gently, and then we, and the carrots, by the way, so the carrots get cooked at 300 degrees for about 2 hours. So very, 250, 300. You want to make sure there's enough moisture, it's covered well, and let it cool a long time like that. Yeah. So I have a piece of halibut with scooped here. We have the.
Here's the larder.
What happened to my carrots?
Oh, it's right over there.
Bring it here.
Okay.
So on the fish, we'll go a little bit of the pink peppercorn oil, which I think bring with the carrots this very delicate sort of fragrant and almost floral, without bringing any heat to it. It just will bring a little bit of the fragrance, who is pairing very well with carrots. And then I have a slice of lardo. So lardo, you can certainly also find that easily. It's the fattest part of the pork, which has been cut in very thin slice, and that goes over. And usually, when the fish is warm, the lardo will start to melt down as well. So now, plate. Where's the plate?
Right here, sure.
Yeah. So on the plate, we have many different, like Mary can show you. You go ahead, bring it here, yeah.
Okay.
So another Japanese tool to be able to do some strand of carrots. So that's something the kid will like for sure. They will eat their carrots with that one because they can play with it. And so this machine produce endless strands of carrots, and that's the way to have a little bit of raw carrots inside. But you could also julienne that very fine and sprinkle some julienne of carrots as well. So, super. So of course we work with little different tools when we play. We have bottles and things, but here we will. So this, and we have so the puree of carrots. Little spoon. Okay. The little millefeuille of carrots. The braised carrots also. A little chipotle onion with that, just to bring back a little bit the onion flavor inside the mousseline of carrots. The halibut. The little strands of carrots as well. We have a little bit of fried carrots because there's always, you know, when you buy carrots, you buy a big bunch, so you have plenty to play with. They don't come individual. We have a little bit of the. I'm glad I'm not serving you that dish right now for 100 people. But I promise tonight I won't make you wait too long. So a little bit of the seed also over. A little bit of the carrot tops. So those are like very, almost like tiny little carrot tops before it even produces the carrots. And we finish with a bordelais sauce. The bordelais sauce is made with braised beef. We braise short ribs or lean meat of beef, and red wine, of course. And this dense sauce will sort of join the fish for that preparation. So that will really counterbalance with the acidity of the sauce and the density of the sauce. It will counterbalance totally the sweetness of the carrots and the preparation. Voila. Okay, Mary, push everything now. So,
How do you fry the carrot?
how do you fry a carrot? Very slowly also, yeah. Who's asking?
This gentleman in the.
Oh, yes. But you can dust it with a little bit either of rice flour very gently or sort of a crisp flour, but you don't do like tempura, you just toss them a little bit and then fry them very slowly at
275,
less than, yeah, 260.
260, 275.
And let them, you know, lose their water so they can start to absorb. But here they took a little bit of humidity. Usually we keep that also. I mean, we fry them and then after we put them into a dehydrator and let it finish. And because otherwise they'll get humid again very quickly. But this is not, I mean, fried carrots is not the kind of things you do for the football games and make a big bowl of it. In case you had that idea. Well, any question, anyone? Because I'm happy to I don't think tonight I'll be able to answer too many questions. I'm going to be signing a lot of cookbook for all of you. So if you have the patience and you want to pick up your cookbook tonight, what we can do is you write your name on a post-it and put it on a book or your book, and I will be personalize it so you don't have to waste your day waiting in line to be able, and I think the book will all be here tonight and you can pick them up. What do you think? Is it a good idea?
Yes, that's a great idea. Well, thank you so much, Danielle and
Thank
Mary.
you.
Mary
Thank you,
disappeared.
Princess.
You are such an amazing friend
Thank
and
you.
supporter of Blackberry, and this was such a great show. Sam always liked to say that going out to dinner or going to a demo was like a show. People think, sometimes dinners can get expensive. And he would say, well, people go to Broadway shows, and my Broadway show is going to dinner,
Well,
and drinking amazing wine.
That's
And
why
so-
we cut the carrots in 20 pieces, so that gets less. If I give you the carrots whole, they're going to be much cheaper.
I hope everyone has a wonderful afternoon. So, like Danielle mentioned, we've got a book signing, not a carrot tasting, book signing, and then lunch will be in the main house on your own, and then you can have a lovely afternoon, and then we'll all gather together tonight for the real show. So, thank you
Absolutely.
so much.
Thank you, Maricel. And thank you, Le Creuset, as well. And also North Berkeley wine distribution for the amazing wine we have been drinking, and we will be drinking tonight as well. So you feel a little bit deprived from wine right now, but not going to be for all of it. And again, thank you for coming to those very special moments here at Blackberry Farm, and those very meaningful things we will be doing also.
Thank you.
Thank you.